Before we begin, dear viewer, steel yourself. This tale I'm about to unfold is not for the faint of heart. It delves into the darkest corners of our world, where shadows whisper secrets and fear takes hold. Subscribe to Mr. Fear English on YouTube if you dare, but be warned, once you enter this realm, there's no turning back. High in the desolate, windswept hills of Italy, where the air is thick with the scent of pine and the whispers of ancient legends, far from bustling cities and cheerful villages, lies a place shrouded in mystery and silence. Stood the convent of Santa Lucia. The stones were weathered, ancient, each one telling a story of time immemorial, a testament to the countless seasons they had endured. It was a place of sombre silence, where the echoes of the past seemed to linger in every corner. Its only inhabitants, a dwindling order of nuns who had dedicated their lives to prayer and solitude. These women, cloaked in their simple habits, moved like shadows through the dimly lit corridors. Within these aged walls, Sister Agnes had resided for what seemed like an eternity. Her days were filled with the monotony of ritual, each prayer a bead on the endless rosary of her life. Her wrinkled face, a canvas of time and hardship, bore the marks of countless years spent in devotion and contemplation. Held a perpetually haunted look, it was as though she carried a burden too heavy for any soul to bear, a secret that gnawed at her very being, a secret she guarded fiercely. The other nuns often wondered what sorrow lay behind her eyes, but Sister Agnes remained silent, her lips sealed by an unspoken vow. The convent itself seemed to breathe with the weight of untold stories, its walls whispering secrets to those who would listen. The flickering candles in the chapel cast long shadows, dancing like phantoms in the night. In the library, ancient texts and manuscripts lay untouched, their pages yellowed with age, holding knowledge long forgotten by the outside world. Moonlight streamed through the stained glass windows, casting a kaleidoscope of colours on the cold stone floor, a fleeting beauty in a place of perpetual dusk. Sister Agnes knelt in prayer, her face illuminated by the soft glow of candlelight. Her whispered words were a plea to the heavens, a cry for solace in her endless solitude. The rosary beads slipped through her fingers, each one a symbol of her unwavering faith and the heavy burden she bore. In the silence of the convent, her prayers were the only sound, a testament to her enduring spirit. Whispers followed Sister Agnes like shadows, ever present and unrelenting. They seemed to echo through the ancient stone walls of the convent, a constant murmur that never quite faded away. The other nuns spoke of her past in hushed tones, speculating about the darkness that clung to her. They wondered what secrets she harboured, what sins she might be atoning for within these sacred walls. Some whispered of a life before the convent, a life shrouded in mystery and perhaps even sin. They imagined a young woman entangled in a web of intrigue, her past a tapestry of secrets and shadows. Others swore she had dealings with forces beyond human comprehension. They spoke of ancient rituals and forbidden knowledge, of a woman who had delved into the arcane and emerged forever changed. Sister Agnes herself did little to dispel these rumours. She moved through the convent like a ghost, her presence felt but rarely acknowledged. Her days were spent in quiet contemplation, her nights in solitary prayer. She kept to herself, her voice rarely rising above a murmur, her eyes always downcast. It was as if she carried the weight of her past with her, a burden that she could never set down. When she did speak, her words were cryptic, hinting at a past better left undisturbed. Her fellow nuns could only wonder and whisper, their imaginations filling in the gaps of her enigmatic story. As the years turned into decades, strange occurrences began to plague the convent. Objects moved inexplicably. Whispers seemed to emanate from empty corridors. The nuns, used to a life of quiet routine, grew increasingly uneasy. Their prayers took on a desperate edge, pleas for protection from unseen forces. Sister Agnes, however, seemed unperturbed by these events. In fact, some sisters could have sworn they saw a flicker of recognition in her eyes, a knowing glint that sent shivers down their spines. One chilly evening, young Sister Maria was making her way to the chapel for evening prayers, when she noticed a light emanating from beneath Sister Agnes's door. Curiosity piqued, Sister Maria leaned closer. What she saw through the crack in the door chilled her to the bone. Sister Agnes was kneeling on the floor, her back to the door, chanting in a language Sister Maria didn't understand. The air crackled with an unnatural energy, and a cold dread seeped into Sister Maria's bones. Section 6. The Specter in the Chapel. Terrified, Sister Maria stumbled back from the door. As she did, a dark figure materialized in the hallway behind her. It was tall and skeletal, its eyes burning like hot coals in the darkness. A gasp escaped Sister Maria's lips before she could stop herself. The figure turned its fiery gaze upon Sister Maria, and a low growl rumbled through the air. Paralyzed with fear, Sister Maria could only watch as the spectre glided towards her, its skeletal hand outstretched. Section 7. Maria's Terror. With a surge of adrenaline, Sister Maria scrambled back to her feet and fled. She ran through the darkened corridors, the spectre's chilling growl echoing behind her. Tears streamed down her face as she burst into the chapel, interrupting the other nuns at prayer. Gasping for breath, Sister Maria tried to explain what she had seen, but words failed her. The terrified looks on the faces of her fellow nuns told her that they, too, could sense the evil that had infiltrated their sanctuary. Section 8. Vanished without a trace. The next morning, Sister Agnes was nowhere to be found. Her room was empty, her bed untouched. The other nuns searched frantically, but she had vanished without a trace. The dark figure, too, was gone, but the sense of dread that had settled over the convent remained. Fear gripped the hearts of the remaining nuns. Their once peaceful sanctuary had become a prison of their own making, haunted by the spectre of Sister Agnes and the unknown evils she had unleashed. Section 9. The haunting continues. Even today, the convent of Santa Lucia stands alone in the desolate hills. Its isolation is palpable, a stark reminder of the events that transpired within its walls. The convent, once a place of solace and prayer, now exudes an eerie silence that chills the bones of those who dare to approach. The wind howls through its crumbling walls, whispering tales of Sister Agnes and the darkness she brought with her. Each gust seems to carry the echoes of her sorrow, a haunting melody that reverberates through the empty corridors. The walls, though aged and decayed, seem to hold on to the memories of the past, refusing to let them fade away. Some say her tormented spirit still wanders the halls, seeking solace that will never come. And the dark figure, it is said to be a manifestation of the evil that Sister Agnes unleashed. A sinister presence that lurks in the shadows, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim. It is said to lurk in the shadows, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim. Those who have encountered it speak of an overwhelming sense of dread, a feeling that something malevolent is watching them, ready to pounce at any moment. The figure is described as a dark silhouette, barely distinguishable from the shadows it hides in, yet its presence is unmistakable. If you crave more tales of horror and suspense, subscribe to Mr. Fear English on YouTube. Our channel delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche, exploring stories that will keep you up at night. From haunted locations to unsolved mysteries, we bring you the best in horror entertainment. But be warned, once you step into the shadows, there's no turning back. The stories we share are not for the faint of heart. They will linger in your mind, haunting your thoughts long after the video ends. So, if you dare, join us on this journey into the unknown. But remember, the shadows are always watching.